Hello everyone, welcome back to Warren's Team Talk. I hope you're all really well and you're all happy and fine. Anyway, but thanks very much for coming back to visit my channel. But if this is your first time coming to see what I've got to offer, a big warm welcome to you. I'm glad to see you here and I hope that you enjoy your stay with me. Anyway, so I've come today with part 2 of the Arsenal story. So that's episode 39 of England's most successful football club. And like I say, in this episode, we're going to continue on the story of Arsenal. We're going to continue on from where we left last time, which is going to be looking at the club from 1991 until present day. Anyway, so the coach looks like it's ready and raring to go to take us up to North London. So it'll be the second trip in a week up to North London, up to Highbury, to go and have a chat with the people there and find out all about what's happened at Arsenal between 1991 and now. Anyway, before we go, I just want to remind you all that if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button, and please make sure that you share the show with anyone who you think might enjoy watching it. Yeah, so let's get on the road and enjoy our trip, and I hope you enjoy the show. So here we go, everyone. We're back up at Highbury again. The coach has just pulled up outside. So let's go and see our friends in Highbury House and see what the story is. So we'll find out the rest of the story anyway. So let's just recap what happened last week. In part 1, we learned about how Arsenal moved from Woolwich to Highbury, how they got promoted in controversial circumstances, with Sir Henry Norris being involved in allegations of bribery and aggressive persuasion and all sorts of underhands going on. So yeah, that's what happened there. We learned about how Herbert Chapman transformed Arsenal, and he how he sort of made sure they had red shirts and white sleeves, and also you learned about how he managed to set Arsenal up so they could win 3 successive league titles, a feat that no one has yet been able to better. Some have equaled it, but no one's ever bettered it, not in the English league anyway. And then we found out also about all their successes, other successes up to 1991. Now, in this episode, we're going to look at the club from 1991 onwards. So let's get started. So let's start with the 4th place finishes in the First Division Tier 1. Now, this happened on one occasion in the time period we're looking at. And that was in the 1991-92 season, when they finished 10 points behind league champions Leeds United, to finish 4th in the league that year. And then what came next? Yeah, so let's look at the 4th place finishes in the FA Premier League that have happened since 1991. And Arsenal finished 4th on 7 occasions. The first one of these came in 1993 to 94, when they finished 4th behind the champions Manchester United, and there was a gap of 11 points between them, in 2005-06, when they finished 24 points behind the champions Chelsea. 2006-2007, when they finished 21 points behind the Premier League champions Manchester United. 2008-2009, they finished 18 points behind the Premier League champions Manchester United again. And then 2010-2011, 12 points again behind Manchester United. And then 2012-2013, they finished 16 points behind Manchester United. And then in 2013-14, which was the last fourth place finish to date, they finished 7 points behind the champions Manchester City to secure a fourth place finish. So let's move on. Now, in here we're going to look at the third place finishes. So Arsenal have managed to achieve 5 third place finishes in the FA Premier League, which happened. The first one was in 1996-97, when they finished 7 points behind Premier League champions Manchester United. 2007-2008, they finished third and 4 points behind the champions Manchester United again. And then 2009-10, they were 11 points behind the Premier League champions Chelsea. Then 2011-2012, they finished 19 points behind that year's Premier League champions Manchester City. And 3 years later, and to date, their last third place finish in the FA Premier League, they finished 12 points behind champions Chelsea. Right, so let's look now at the second place finishes. So Arsenal have finished second 6 times in the FA Premier League. And this started in 1998-99 season, when they finished 1 point behind the champions Manchester United. And then in the following season, again, they finished behind Manchester United in the 1999-2000 season, but this time the difference was a lot larger. It was 18 points. And then again, the next season, in the 2000-2001 season, they finished 10 points, again behind Manchester United, who were managed at that time by Sir Alex Ferguson. And then 2 years after that, again, they finished second behind Manchester United with a points difference of 5. And then 2 years later, again, they finished 12 points behind champions Chelsea to finish second. And then finally, in the 2015-16 season, which is a season I think Arsenal should have gone on to win the title, but they just somehow managed to blow it. And if they'd signed a world-class striker, I think they would have done. Yeah, so they finished second behind Leicester City, who had 10 point. They finished the season with a 10-point gap over the Arsenal that year. Now, let's look at their league title successes. So, if you see here, this shows all Arsenal's Premier League title victories, and there's 3 of them. The first one came in the 1997-98 season, when they finished 1 point ahead of Manchester United and managed to get 78 points. And then In 2001-2002, they finished 7 points ahead of second place Liverpool, and managed to get 87 points. And then in the 2003-2004 season, they finished 11 points ahead of second place Chelsea, which was also the year they went the season unbeaten and managed to get their invincible tag. It's also a well-known fact that the FA commissioned a special gold trophy for Arsenal that year as a mark of the fact that they'd managed to go the whole season unbeaten. So, and that's why some of Arsenal's fans, in my opinion, pathetically turn around and go, "Oh, is yours gold? Is yours gold?" Which I think is just a bit pathetic, really, to be honest. But anyway, so that's Arsenal's 3 title successes in the Premier League. Now, here we can see Arsenal's best league performances, in my opinion, from 1991. Top of the list, obviously, for me, would be the Invincible season, and when they played 38 games, won 26, drew 12, lost none, scored a grand total of 36 goals, 73 goals, and conceded only 26 and got 90 points. Now, the other seasons that I've picked out were 2001-2002 season, again when they won the title, and got 87 points. The 2004-2005 season, when they finished second, with 83 points. And then the 2007-2008 Premier League season, when they finished third, again with 83 points. Now, I'm sure that some of you will disagree with some of those seasons, but if you do, please put your comments in. Please put a comment in the comment section of the video telling me what other seasons you would like to have seen now, or any comments about that. That would be really nice. I'd really like to see that. And so we have it. Here you can see the full record of Arsenal's unbeaten league campaign when they won, and well, not their unbeaten league campaign, it's the whole 49 games that they went unbeaten, which started with them beating Southampton 6-1 at home on the 7th of May 2003, and their last unbeaten game in that unbeaten run came on the 16th of October 2004, when Arsenal defeated Aston Villa by 3-1. So yeah, going 49 games unbeaten, I think it's a bit of a feat, to be quite honest. And particularly going a whole season unbeaten, I mean, that's a phenomenal achievement, especially this day and age. But yeah, there you go. Anyway, so let's carry on. So here we go. This is the Invincible team, and what they're doing here is they're getting into a huddle, because what happened was that Arsenal, at the end of every game during that Invincible season, they were going to a huddle at the end of the game. Quite what they were saying to each other, I really don't know, but there you go. It just shows a really nice camaraderie and togetherness, which I think is a bit lacking these days, but hopefully we can get it back at some point soon. Yeah, so there you go. And moving swiftly on, let's look now at Arsenal's domestic cup successes from 1991. So here we can see a summary of their cup successes. They've been runners-up in the FA Cup on one occasion. They've won the FA Cup on 9 occasions. They were runners-up in the Football League Cup on 3 occasions. They won the League Cup once. And then they've been runners-up in the Charity Shield 3 times. They've shared it on 1 occasion, and they've been outright winners on 8 occasions. So let's look at the runners-up in the League Cup. So in 2007 season, they lost 2 goals to 1 to Chelsea at the Millennium Stadium in Cardiff. In the 2011 season, they lost 2-1 to Birmingham City at Wembley Stadium after taking the lead through Robin van Persie. And then in the 2018 season, they lost comprehensively 3-0 to Manchester City. And it was a far easier victory for Man City than that scoreline suggests, let me tell you. And then they've won the League Cup on 1 occasion since 1991, which was in 1993 when they defeated Sheffield Wednesday by 2 goals to 1, which was part of a League Cup and FA Cup double that they achieved that year. And then Arsenal have been runners-up on 1 occasion in this period, which came in the 2001 season when they lost 2-1 to Liverpool at the Millennium Stadium. And I have to say about that game that I completely agree with Thierry Henry. How Arsenal managed to drag defeat out the jaws of victory for that one, I've got no idea. They absolutely battered Liverpool that day. There was shots cleared off the line. There was an obvious handball that got given, and missed chance after chance after chance after chance. It was just ridiculous. It wouldn't have been an unfair scoreline if Arsenal had won the game 6 or 7-0, in my opinion. But anyway, Arsenal went 1-0 up, and then young Michael Owen popped up near the end of the game and scored two goals for Liverpool to take the FA Cup back to Anfield. And what a player he was, though, to be fair. And but yeah, Arsenal should never have lost that game. Anyway, so Arsenal have won the cup on 9 occasions. They defeated Sheffield Wednesday in 1992-93 season by 2 goals to 1 after a replay at Wembley. The first game ended in a 1-1 draw, again at Wembley Stadium. And then in 1997-98, they lost 2-0 to Newcastle United. In the 2001-2002 season, they lost 2-0 to Chelsea, again at Wembley. And the following year, 2002-2003, they defeated Southampton 1-0 at the Millennium Stadium. And then 2 years later, in the 2004-2005 season, they drew 0-0 with Manchester United, but won the trophy. And then in 2013, Arsenal won the trophy against United that year on penalties. And then in the 2013-14 season, Arsenal ended a much talked about trophy drought by defeating Hull City by 3 goals to 2 after extra time. Arsenal fell behind to Hull City very early in the game and went 2-0 down shortly after, and it could have got even worse as well. It If it hadn't have been for Kieran Gibbs clearing the ball off the line, they would have gone down 3-0, and I don't think they would have come back from that. But they did, mostly thanks to the incredible Santi Cazorla. And then in the 2014-15 season, they defeated Aston Villa by 4-0 in what was, in my opinion, an extremely comfortable win for Arsenal. And again, there was another game where they could have won the trophy with a much more comprehensive scoreline. But yeah, just due to a lack of quality finishing up front, the scoreline stayed at 4-0. I mean, 4-0 was good enough scoreline as it is, but it could have been a lot more, in my opinion. And then in 2016-17 season, they defeated Chelsea by 2-1 to win the FA Cup. And that performance was absolutely incredible. The defence had been decimated by injuries, and I think Mertesacker, how he managed to get through that game, I really don't know, but he played superbly, as the whole team did. And yeah, it was great, a great performance. And many people before the game had written Arsenal off and said that Chelsea were hot favourites. But yeah, Arsenal once again defeated Chelsea in an FA Cup final. And then most recently in the 2019-20 season, Arsenal defeated Chelsea again by 2-1 at Wembley Stadium to win the trophy. So yeah, that was great. Now, let's move on to the Charity Shield. Arsenal have been runners-up in the Charity Shield on 3 occasions. In 1993, they drew 1-1 with Manchester United and then lost the match 5-4 on penalties. And then in 2003, again, they drew 1-1 with Manchester United and again lost the match 4-3 on penalties. And then in the 2005 season, they lost 2-1 to Chelsea. Then they shared the trophy on one occasion, which was the 1991-92 season, when they played Tottenham Hotspur at Wembley and the game ended in 0-0 draw. And at that time, if the game was drawn after 90 minutes, the two clubs shared the Charity Shield, which is what happened on this occasion. And then Arsenal have won the FA Charity Shield on 8 occasions from 1991. In 1998, they beat Manchester United by 3-0. And then in 1991, again against Manchester United, Arsenal won by 2-1. And then in 2002, Arsenal defeated Liverpool 1-0 at the Millennium Stadium. And then in 2004, Arsenal defeated Manchester United 3-1 at the Millennium Stadium. And then in the 2014 edition, Arsenal defeated Manchester City 3-0 at Wembley Stadium. Now, I remember that game because of a superb goal. I think it was Olivier Giroud scored against Manchester City. Yeah, and it was an outstanding strike, in my opinion. And then in 2015, Chelsea lost 1-0 to Arsenal for Arsenal to win the Shield. And then in 2017, Arsenal drew 1-1 with Chelsea, but won the match 4-1 on penalties. And then in beginning of this season, Arsenal won the Charity Shield after drawing 1-1 with Chelsea, with Liverpool, but won the game 5-4 on penalties. Right, so here we go. We have here a picture of Arsenal striker Alan Smith with both the Football League Cup and the FA Cup. And in the 1992-93 season, Arsenal won the FA Cup and the Football League Cup double. So I just thought that would be a nice thing to have a look at. To win this double, Arsenal defeated Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 after a replay. When the first game had ended in the 1-1 draw at Wembley Stadium, and earlier to win the FA Cup, and then earlier in the season, Arsenal defeated Sheffield Wednesday 2-1 in the Football League Cup final. So won the League Cup, so they won the Football League Cup and the FA Cup double that year. Now, let's look at Arsenal's success in Europe. So there hasn't been a great deal of it, but there has been some. So in the 1993-94 season, Arsenal defeated Parma to win the 1994 European Cup Winners' Cup, which is the only time Arsenal have won the Cup Winners' Cup under the stewardship of George Graham. And Arsenal won the goal thanks to a goal from Arsenal's Alan Smith. And now, I've heard stories as well that before the game, Parma they were actually quoted as being heavy favourites. But apparently, when Arsenal turned up at the stadium for the match, Parma had their colours tied to the trophy, which when the Arsenal players saw it, it made them obviously and unsurprisingly extremely angry. And this is something I heard Lee Dixon talking about in a documentary that he's got about himself for his time at Arsenal. The Parma team, but it should be noted, the Parma team that night had some great players in their team, such as Thomas Brolin, Gianfranco Zola, and Faustino Asprilla. And Arsenal's legendary striker, Ian Wright, was unavailable for selection due to the fact that he was suspended. And also the Arsenal were also missing John Jensen and Martin Keown and David Hillier for the match. So, they were ripped of some of their best players. Now, the game itself was a masterclass in the art of rearguard action, and it was a proper art masterclass as well. Not a Mikel Arteta masterclass, a proper masterclass by a master technician like George Graham. Anyway, Thomas Brolin hit the post, and then in the 20th minute, Alan Sunderland pounced on a defensive error from Parma to volley home the winner from just outside the box. And then here in these two pictures that I've got here, you can see the Arsenal team celebrating with the trophy on the left-hand side of the screen. And then also you can see Alan Smith, George Graham and Tony Adams celebrating with the trophy on an open-top bus tour through the streets of Islington. And And then let's see what else there is. Yeah, so Arsenal, as a consequence of that Cup Winners' Cup victory, went on to play AC Milan the next season for the European Super Cup. In the first leg at Highbury, the game ended in a 0-0 draw. But then in the second game at the San Siro, AC Milan overpowered Arsenal somewhat by 2-0 to win the trophy. And then in the 1999-2000 season, Arsenal played Galatasaray in the UEFA Cup final, but unfortunately Galatasaray defeated Arsenal 4-1 on penalties to take the trophy after the game ended in a 0-0 draw. And it was a game where, once again, Arsenal dominated the play, in my opinion, but were unable to find the target. Anyway, so moving on. Then Arsenal have appeared in the UEFA Champions League final on one occasion since 1991, which was the 2005-2006 season, when they lost by 2-1 to Barcelona. This was a game where Jens Lehmann had a rush of blood and came running out of the penalty area to bring down, I think it was their Brazilian striker, Ronaldinho. And the referee had little option but to send him off. And Arsenal played with 10 men, and they had to sacrifice Robert Pires to bring on substitute goalkeeper Manuel Almunia. Arsenal took the lead through Sol Campbell, and then they ended up losing the game after Barcelona brought on Henrik Larsson, who turned the game round for Barcelona. Barcelona ended up winning the game by 2-1. Now, in the 2018-19 season, Arsenal reached the Europa League final under the management of Unai Emery, and they ended up losing the game by 4-1 after the Arsenal players, in my opinion, down tools in that final. They just didn't turn up. I have got my own theories as to why that happened, and I don't think it's anything to do with Unai Emery's management, who I think personally was unfairly treated by Arsenal and his playing staff, but still, that's another story. So here we go. This is a slide which shows Arsenal's other notable achievements from 1991 onwards. In the 2005-2006 season, Arsenal were unbeaten on their way to the Champions League final, and in reaching that 2006 Champions League final, Arsenal conceded only 2 goals in their 12 matches, and it also included them keeping clean sheets for a record 10 successive matches. Then The next one is between 2003 and 2004. Arsenal set a new English League record of remaining unbeaten for 49 league games. In the 2019-20 season, Arsenal won the FA Cup for a record 14th time, and Arsenal became the first London team to appear in a Champions League or European Cup final in 2006. And then between the 1998-99 and 2016-17 season, Arsenal have competed for 19 successive seasons in the Champions League, with only Real Madrid achieving more appearances in the competition than Arsenal. And then Arsenal remained unbeaten for a record 27 league games between the 5th of April 2003 and 25th September 2004. Arsenal conceded 17 goals in 38 games in the 1998-99 season, which set a record for the fewest goals conceded in a league season, until this was surpassed by Chelsea in the 2004-2005 season. In the 1992-93 season, Arsenal won the Football League Cup and FA Cup double when they defeated Sheffield Wednesday in both finals that year. And then in 1997 and 98, and then 2001-2002 season, Arsenal won the FA Premier League and FA Cup double. Now, but the biggest, for me, success the club have achieved during that season was obviously the unbeaten season, which we've already discussed. And throughout the whole history, I'd have to say the biggest achievement of the club is when they went to Anfield to win the league title on the last game of the season in 1989, and by winning at Anfield by 2-0. Now, usually I'll give you an all-time 11, right, that I've been able to find on the internet. But seeing this is one of my clubs, I've decided to give you an all-time 11s from my perspective. So this is my all-time 11 of players I've seen play for the club from the pre-Wenger era. And the team, as far as I'm concerned, is, and these players would have had to have played for this particular team. They've had to have played for Arsenal before Arsene Wenger turned up at the club. So for me, it would be in goal, David Seaman, but he edged out very. It was a stiff competition between him and Pat Jennings. A centre-back pairing of Tony Adams and David O'Leary. Again, notable absences from this team that could have easily made it, in my opinion, were Martin Keown and Steve Bold. And then left back was Kenny Sansom. Also, again, it's another real close strong thing between Kenny Sansom and Sammy Nelson. And then right back, there was Pat Rice. And I also remember a guy called John Devine, who I thought was a good right back that played for Arsenal. And then in midfield was one of my all-time Arsenal heroes, Brian Talbot, and Paul Davis, another one of my all-time heroes, an absolute quality player. The man had more talent than most players I've ever seen. I think he should have won much more England caps than he did. And the same goes for Brian Talbot as well. Brian Talbot, the man would just never stop running all day long. He'd keep trying and trying and trying and keep fighting all the time for the team. In fact, so much so that in the, I think it was the 1979 final, he ran around the pitch so much that on the coach afterwards he collapsed with exhaustion and they had to give him oxygen on the coach. So yeah, what a hero. Now on the left side of midfield, there can only be one choice, and that's Liam Brady. What an absolute genius. One of the, I'd say easily one of the top 3 or 4 players that the club's ever had, in my opinion. And then another all-time favourite of mine and hero, David Rocastle. God bless him. God rest his soul. Absolute genius of a player. And if it hadn't been for injuries, I'm sure that he would have had much more appearances at the club than what he did. And he would have gone on to win far more England caps than he did. And then up front, I went with Frank Stapleton and Ian Wright. And then obviously as well, there's some great players that have gone in that could have gone in that team, the likes of Alan Sunderland and Malcolm McDonald and Charlie Nicholas, just to name a few. Anyway, so let's look at the next one. The next one is my greatest Arsenal team post George Graham era. Oh yeah, and another player that could have got in that team that I just showed you was Paul Merson, obviously. Now, this team has got a little surprise in it for you all. I'm not sure if many of you will agree with me, but anyway, there you go. So, goalkeeper for this team was Jens Lehmann. Centre-back pairing of Martin Keown and Sol Campbell. Right back of Lauren. Left back Kieran Tierney. And in centre midfield with Patrick Vieira and Emmanuel Petit. And left midfield, we've gone with Robert Pires. And right midfield, we've got Freddie Ljungberg. And then up front with Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry. So, yeah, that's my greatest Arsenal 11 of the post-George Graham era. So I'm sure some of you are surprised by the fact that I put in Kieran Tierney over Ashley Cole, but I'm sorry, I can't put that man in any Arsenal all-time 11 after the way he left the club and all the issues about how he organised his transfer to Chelsea. Sorry, it's just not happening. And then this is an independent all-time Arsenal 11 that I found on the internet. It was on the Bleacher Report website and was written by a journalist by the name of John Cross, who I don't know if many of you know. I think he writes for the Daily Mirror, but I'm not sure. But he's very close to the club. I do know that. And then, so for this team, John Cross went with David Seaman in goal, centre-back pairing of Tony Adams and Frank McClintock, left back of Ashley Cole, right back of Pat Rice, and then in midfield, he went with a central midfield pairing of Patrick Vieira and David Rocastle. And left midfield, he went with Liam Brady. Right midfield, Robert Pires. And then up front, Dennis Bergkamp and Thierry Henry. So there you have it. What do you think about those teams? Please put your comments in the comments section of the video. And if you've got any greatest ever Arsenal teams that you'd like to put in there, please let me see them. I'll be delighted to see them and see what you think. Also, if you've got any comments or stories about Arsenal you'd like to share, put that in there as well. So yeah, that's the Arsenal story. Okay, well everyone, sadly that is the end of today's show. I hope that you really enjoyed it and you enjoyed our trip up to Highbury and you enjoyed finding out all about Arsenal. As I said in the video, if you've got, and as I always say, if you've got any greatest ever Arsenal 11s, or if you have any stories about Arsenal Football Club that you would like to share, please put them in the comments section of the video. That would be absolutely amazing. I'd love to read what you've got to say and hear your insights into the club. But anyway, please, before you go, if you haven't done so already, please put a like on the video and please subscribe to my channel. It really is one thing you could do that really helped me. The video is completely free. The channel's completely free. You don't have to pay for subscribing or anything like that. And hopefully it's helping to keep you entertained. So yeah, why not? It only takes a couple of seconds to do it. Now, if you want to know how to subscribe, all you have to do is you have to click on the little red button in there. I think it's the bottom left-hand corner of the screen that says subscribe on it. And then there's a thumbs up button for like and a thumbs down for dislike. So if you do like if you did like the video, please click on one of those buttons and that would be great. That would really be helpful. And also don't forget, please, if you know anyone who you think might enjoy it, please pass it on to them. That would be fantastic. Anyway, I'll be back again on Wednesday with another episode for you. So I'll be looking forward to seeing you all then. But anyway, more importantly than any of that, please look after yourselves and share some love, kindness and joy around the world. And also, please keep talking. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you the next time. Please take care. Bye for now, everyone. I look forward to seeing you on Wednesday. Take care. Bye.